Hey everyone, welcome back to this video. In the last video, we discussed about some distributed system and all that, and we discussed about that it might be happen to the timestamp and logical clock and blah blah blah, all of that. In today lecture, we discuss and see the logical clocks in action and what is actually the logical clock is. So let's give a brief. So in the context of logic, okay, let's I change the color. Red is fine. So in the context of logical clock, actually it's a clock that defined by some engineers to maintain consistency between the servers, that is hold on different location and continent. Suppose we have a server 1 S1 in US and S2 in America, sorry, S3 in Antarctica and S4 in India. So suppose what happened that you send a message and like it's a message like, hey, how are you, and it's still sending, and in between of sending, the another person just say not fine. So you are like in deja vu situation. Okay, I even doesn't ask with the person that he's fine or not, and he automatically tested me not fine, and then he get a message, hey, how are you, and then he is realizing, oh, I asked, I said to him I am not fine. Then again he is sending so it's a different situation that maybe arise. So you can say, and in the banking sector also, you transact the money and it's not reflected properly in your bank because it's not replicated and it's a different timestamp. So it's an issue that it's kind of arise. So that's why we need logical clocks to be make sure the process at the event that is happening, it must be in happen in a proper fashion, in a proper order. Like suppose P1 happened before P2, P2 happened before P3. So it happened in a proper fashion, in a proper order in all of the server. It's not like in P2 to P1 to P3 based on timestamp. Okay. So let's understand our first algorithm, which is Leslie Lamport algorithm. So Leslie Lamport is a scientist who write this particular algorithm to help us in this case. Okay, and it's a very basic algorithm. Just you have to understand three things. Suppose you have a laptop or computer or anything, and that laptop, when you run any program or anything, what it does, it do a process. Suppose you done a program which is P1. So generally what it does, it start means it execute. Then suppose it have to send some message to another, like you click on tab tab on view, then it send the message to OS. Okay, he want a view, let me do the full screen mode. So he send, and OS receive a message to do a full screen mode. It's just an example, do not judge me. So execute, send, and receive, we have three processes. So Leslie said that if any process is on execute mode, just increase the counter by 1, comma, value or message. Okay, if any counter send, then send this thing. If any receive, the receiving node storing the data, it should like this: max of p naught p2, suppose p2, then p1 plus 1 what it sent, and then value, that is sending. So in execute we have to increase by 1, in send we have to send as it is, and in receive we have to take a maximum value between these two and store on a server. Okay, I got it. Oh, got it. It's little complicated, but you will understand with example completely. Suppose let's do this. This is my 1 and this is my Okay, so this is my P1 and this is my P2. Okay, now we have two processes, one is P1 and one is P2. Now P1, suppose this is a chart, line is little blurry, but okay. Now suppose the logical clock is currently on 0 and on here is also 0. Okay, and the value is 100. You can say, you can neglect the value of 100 because we have to understand the logical clock thing. So when on the first hit, when the first process execute, it increase it to 1, and and we send this thing to P2. So what will happen? Currently P2 value is 0 and it will increase by 1. So max of 1 of 0 is 1, 2. So what will happen? We got 2. So on first context, P1 value has 1 and P2 value is 2. So Leslie algorithm said that if any event in which P1 is less than P2, then A is P1 is happened before to B. That's it. That's it you need to know. If any value which is less than another, then it is happened before. Like A is happened before B, as we saw in this example. P1 executed and then it sent the request and it executed it. Now if you move forward, increase this to 2, but do not send the request. And in the same context, you increase, do not send the request and increase the value. So if you see, they are not related to each other. They are not related to each other. Is they related to each other? No, we doesn't send any kind of request to both of them. So they are concurrent. But still it's feel like they are in some kind of causal relationship. So that's the limitation of this algorithm. Like with this Leslie Lamport algorithm, we cannot completely differentiate between causal and concurrent relationship. Causal relationship, what's mean by, is happened before relationship, like P1 is happened before P2. Okay, so avoiding that's all you have to just remember three things here. If it's sending execute, you have to run this P1 plus 1 comma value. If it is send, you have to just send this thing. And if it is on the receiving end, you have to max of P2, which is the current node, and P1 plus 1, which is the node that is there, plus 1 comma value. That's all algorithm. And what is the end? It is saying if P1 value is less than equal to P2, then P1 is happened before P2. P1 is happened before P2. That's all. Okay. Now let's move to another algorithm, vector clock algorithm. So as I told earlier, there is an issue of concurrency in that algorithm. Means suppose we have a two program that is running simultaneously and they are just at the same moment they done, the process is done, the thread is done, so the problem arises in that case. So now how vector clock solve this problem? So let's understand this thing. First we have to create a line, but line is not lining because we do not have scale. So we have three process, P1, P2, P3. Now in this thing, understand this thing properly. Properly understand this thing. It's very simple. Also, do not have to deep dive and understand everything. Just I want to explain you what is important in this perspective. So in P1, P2, P3, here what it held a matrix node. It held a matrix node of each of the process. So currently, if you see every process is on 0, so it held 0 on everywhere. Okay. Now what will happen if P1, suppose A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F. Now, if suppose A send a request to D and C send a request to F. So in the case of A, what will happen? 1, 0, 0. And D, what we get for D? Now you have to search it. It is the same in the Leslie Lamport frame. You have to increase the one thing. It is the same. It is the same. Now when you receive the request on D, you have to just make sure you have to take max. You have to take max of all of that. So in D, what is the max? 0 and 1. 1 is max. And in the context of D, what you have to do, you have to increase, you have to take it, if it suppose this is so in this case, this is of P1, this is of P2, and this is of P3. Okay, now you have to increase this thing by calculating the max. So max of 0 comma 0 plus 1, and then at the last it is of 0. So what we get in this context at the last, we get 1 1 0. And what we here we get 2 0 0. Lazy Lamport, simple, we increase the by 1. In the context of C, what we get? 0 1 0. Now we have to pass this thing to F. Now F will get, what the F get? First it take a reference from E, as it is a P3. So if you see 0 0 1. Okay, now F already, okay, we done a wrong thing here. It's max 1, so it should be 1 2 0. Okay, now F also get 0 1 2, max of, if you understand this thing, what it is, max of 0 comma 1 plus 1 on this place, and this is exact what you get from here. Okay, so it tends to 2. So let's understand what we get from here. We get from A is 1 comma 0 comma 0, from B 2 comma 0 comma 0. So if you see 1 is less than equal to 2, 0 is less than equal to 0, and 0 is less than equal to 0. So if you see A is happened before B. A is happened before B. Let's take an example of A and D also. Let's take an example of A and D also. A and D also. So what we have for A? 1 0 0. And what we have for D? 1 2 0. So if you see here, 1 is less than equal to 1, 0 is greater than equal to 2, and 0 is less than equal to 2, and 0 is also less than equal to 0. So if you see, everything is less than to the D. So A is happened before D. So what is this vector algorithm saying? Just understand and note it down. Just note it down in your brain. In vector algorithm, every process unit is this 0, 0, 1 thing. Every process unit is strictly less or equal to the another unit, and one unit one let's move this strictly here, and one unit must be strictly less means it must be less, like in the case of here 0 and 2. Okay, so in that case it will create a happened before relationship. It will create a happened before relationship. Happen before relation. Okay, now understand my another under topic, like what if these processes are not related to each other, as we see in Leslie Lamport. How we can justify that? Okay, let's take an example of F and B. These are not related to each other. So if we take that, in the case of F, what we have 0, 1, 2, and in the context of B, what we have 2, 0, 0. So we got in the 2 is greater than 0. Okay, 0 is 0 is less than 1, and again 0 is less than 2. So if you see, here is less and more, less and more thing are coming. It's not like everything is less, everything is more. So in that context, it is a concurrent relationship, like both are independent of each other. So in that case, it will help us to identify, okay, this is a concurrent and this is a causal relationship, means it have some like happened before, and this event is happening before to the another event. Okay, so hope you like this video of the vector clock algorithm and the Lamport clock algorithm. It is very easy to understand. Just you have to increase the process and check things. So and for the lower end means it's before happened, and higher end means it happened before that. Okay, got my point? So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video and keep subscribing.